and uglier issues afoot than whoever might be getting the catching nod on a given day. But those bigger and uglier issues they're probably a lot less interesting to talk about, so let's do the other thing. Good morning to you. Good Tuesday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins in the same place that you found this. Royals 9, Pirates 3 last night in Kansas City, Missouri. That's 4 losses in a row ever since that 6-0 homestand that made the Pirates look like the next budding dynasty. Baseball, as has forever been spoken, can be a funny game. Not so much to Andrew Heaney. He lasted only 3 innings, giving up 4 runs and 6 hits, including another home run. That's really been an issue for him of late. He sounded none too pleased about it afterward.
Just a lot of hard contact. Yeah, just not a great one.
Tommy Pham's mini revival continued. He hit a 2-run homer. That ended the Pirates' streak, if you want to call it that, of scoreless innings offensively at 30. Henry Davis got the start. And ever since Joey Bart returned from a stint on the concussion IL, this was back on June 17, Davis and Bart have now split the 20 starts evenly. They've also, most unfortunately, not really stepped up offensively from either perspective, at least not in some dramatic way. Henry for the season is batting .203 with 4 homers, 12 RBIs, and 123 at-bats. He does have a 6 for 16 roll over his last 7 games. Fair or not, I'll point out that 4 of those 6 hits came in one game. Bart's got a better average over the course of the full season at .234, but he's got only 1 home run in 184 at-bats. That's one of the most disappointing single facets of this entire summer for the Pirates. Over his last 7 games, he's 4 for 27. He's striking out nonstop 12 times in those last 27 at-bats. So I don't want to make this sound like this is some super urgent situation. It would be ideal if it was. It's not. But if there's any semblance of urgency to be attached to this, it's that Davis is, was, and always will be a number 1 overall pick in the draft. I don't say that because it's important for management to save face, although you would imagine that it would be. I say that because a franchise like the Pirates, operating in an economic system like the one that Major League Baseball has, flat out can't afford to swing and miss at number 1 overall. It just can't happen. If your worst case scenario is that you come away with an ordinary dude, just an everyday bat who you can count on and trust and respect and everything else here, you can at least live with it. What you can't live with is that Henry's now 25 years old and his career average in the majors is 193. He's made strides. I'm absolutely not going to take any of that away from him. He has worked his tail off to become better defensively, and he has. He has worked his tail off to become better offensively, and we're still waiting. We're still waiting. Is that the Pirates' fault? Is that the hitting coach's fault in the plural, because he'll now have had a couple of them between Andy Haynes and Matt Haig? Is it the system's fault? Is it the general manager's fault? Is it Bob Nutting's fault? I don't know. But it isn't happening. And what I do know is that it needs to happen. Now, Bart's not exactly old. He's 28, and he himself was seen as a high pedigree guy when he was drafted in San Francisco. He also was seen as Cherington's only real success in acquiring a hitter when he came over and hit as well as he did in 2024 for the Pirates. That being .265 with 13 home runs and 45 RBIs. He's got one now, one home run. But, not to be cold, he doesn't matter anywhere near as much. He just doesn't. You have to hit that number one overall. You have to hit on that player. And as such, maybe even partly because Cherington is still inexplicably employed here, it would really behoove the Pirates, I think, to just let Henry play. I'm going to repeat this for emphasis. No, he hasn't earned it the hard way. But also, no, there's no point in another backward step for him. We have seen that he can catch at the big league level, and we have seen that he can absolutely annihilate the baseball offensively at the AAA level. So what's missing? He's a 4A guy offensively? I don't know that. You can think that now. I can think that now. We can project it. But he's a number one overall. And he has to be given that opportunity, a full opportunity in Pittsburgh, here, where this draft pick was made, to either show that or not. This is that time. These games don't mean anything, remember? The last thing that you should want, the last thing that the Pirates should want, the last thing that the new general manager next season should want is to find out that an asset, a potential asset, a number one overall pick, was allowed to leave here to go somewhere else and blossom, because that's an asset. That's an asset lost, and it's an asset lost for nothing that came at great expense. One of the things I've learned to like about Henry, and it's a fairly long list, this is just a great kid, is that he does come across as being more comfortable when he plays more often, when he's out there every day. That doesn't mean that he should have his plate appearances bequeathed to him. I respect that Don Kelly doesn't want to take that approach as manager. And I respect, for that matter, when I asked Donnie over the weekend in Seattle how he's handling the catchers right now, where he just said, we're trying to give them both different types of opportunities, including back-to-back starts, to see if they're more comfortable, to see who takes it and runs with it. That's nice in the short term. In the longer term, you've got to get this number one overall pick. You've got to do this. When we come back, J1Q. If you're looking for a great dining experience, look no further than North Shore Tavern. Located directly across Federal Street from PNC Park, next door to Mike's Beer Bar, North Shore Tavern is Pittsburgh's home for steak on a stone. Enjoy your steak finished on a hot lava stone in front of you, where you ensure each piece is cooked to exactly your liking. Or try their rotating selection of entrees, hot sandwiches, salads, and burgers, all while enjoying the ambiance dedicated to the great players and history of the Pittsburgh Pirates all around you. Come see why everyone's talking about North Shore Tavern and steak on a stone.
It's Gun Storage Check Week. Help prevent unwanted access to your firearms. No one wants their unsecured gun to be used in an accident, a suicide, or a crime. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to secure your firearms. Learn more at gunstoragechek.org. That's gunstoragechek.org. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
Today's J1Q comes from Mike Zumpano, who says, DK, I know that Andrew McCutchen isn't the type to make waves, but he does have a direct line to Bob Nutting. I'm sure he's not the only player with one either. Why don't the players go to Nutting with their complaints about this general manager? I would think he would at least listen. One thing, Mike, I'm never going to claim to do on this program, or hopefully in any form of reporting that I offer, is to have all the answers. I don't have your answer here. I don't understand it. It was not explained to me on this trip to Seattle why, as I reported from out there, the players attempted to get messages through to Nutting in different forms about Derek Shelton being checked out in spring training. That didn't happen. That didn't materialize. They very clearly, based on the stuff that I was being told out there, have things that they'd like to get out of their system right about now. Why don't they? Why haven't they? Or have some of them done it and others not? I'll say it again. I don't have that answer. What I do know is this, and I reported this as well, that some players have met individually with Nutting. It was at his behest on each occasion, and it followed the firing of Shelton. It was Nutting's way of directly getting to certain key guys on the roster. Is that door always open? Does it only swing in one direction? Would the players look like they're being whiny or circumventing the people immediately over them, and that would be their concern? Yet again, I don't know, Mike. My belief is that extraordinary circumstances call for extraordinary solutions. My further belief is that there are no such solutions being attempted from any level, but principally from the only one that can really do something about it. That would be the owner. You know, I've been as critical of Nutting and his stewardship of this team as anybody in town, regardless of what we do for a living, meaning whether it's media or fans or whatever. I've got to be up there with the people who've been the most critical of him and what he's done. What ends up being funny about that is that I'll also get accused of being way too soft on him because the things that I criticize him for really don't have a whole lot to do with money. Because in my eyes and in my experiences, and I've covered his entire tenure since he took over as controlling owner in 2007, that really hasn't been the problem. It's been a problem. But his running of the company has been the main thing. His over-delegation to people who aren't very good. His hirings have been bad. His timing for his firings have been bad. His level of accountability has been bad. And yeah, the payroll's been too low, but that's all you ever hear from either common fans or talk radio or Facebook or the people who don't really follow the team very closely. And I don't even know that it cracks his top 10. This kind of stuff for me does. This is really problematic for me. He needs to get in there. He needs to be the one hearing the stuff that I heard in Seattle. And then from there, he needs to take charge and take the appropriate action. I appreciate the question, Mike. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Pirates. I'm going to do another one of these tomorrow.